for joining us tonight, viewers. Remember, we are live on Synergy Network, Monday to Friday from 7 to 8 p.m. with our running next day, viewers. Also, we're on Facebook, Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Like and share. We're also on YouTube, TT Real Talk. Subscribe, hit the bell, and you would know when we go live. So, Trinidad and Tobago, a little update for you. The High Court in Trinidad and Tobago has ruled that the historic breakfast shed can continue operating pending a full trial schedule for January 2027 in a decision welcomed by its management and as a measure of stability for vendors and patrons. Robert Lahunt, president of Femis de Charlotte Cooperative Society Limited, I hope I pronounce it good, said that the ruling delivered today allow the food hub to remain open while substantive dispute with the Urban Development Corporation of Trinidad and Tobago is determined. He said the vendors previously operated for more than 75 years at the site now occupied by the Hyatt Regency Hotel before relocating in national interest to facilitate development. He added that the cooperative has paid more than $4 million over time to Uricot, Tiantec, and WASA, arguing that long-standing financial arrangement includes utility bill. The utility charges must be considered as part of a broader dispute. Now, let me say something, and I understand what Lahunt is saying, but I also want Lahunt to understand something. You see, when you rent an apartment, and you pay the light bill and you pay your water rate, that is part of your expense. Not the company expense, you know. It's your expense. So, if you're going to think about adding this Lahunt, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. I understand you spend millions of dollars. It's like me renting a car. If I don't put gas in the car wouldn't go. So I cannot check the gas. It's an expense to me, yes. But at the end of the day, if I don't put gas in the car, it cannot go. So I understand what you're saying. But you had to look at the wider and the bigger opportunities that people are getting. Also, Trinidad and Tobago, Methanex Corporation has announced plans to temporarily idle its Titan plant in Trinidad and Tobago. But Minister of Energy and Energy Industries, Dr. Rudal Munilal, remained confident the move will be short-lived. He stated that the anticipated improvement in natural gas supply should pave the way for a company to resume operation in the near future. So Trinidad and Tobago, you see, when you hear they say the near future, the plant is thinking about going idle. And when Dr. Munilal say short-lived and pave the way for the company to resume operation in the near future, how long are we talking about? How long is this plant going to remain idle is the big question. That is a big question. So, Trinidad and Tobago, in another update, Minister in the Ministry of Housing, Philip Alexander, has stated that the local Syrian and Lebanese community is in support of the government effort to address white-collar crime. Mr. Alexander noted that as a member of that community, he is confident in stating that Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar has their support. Listen to this.
The Syrian and Lebanese community of Trinidad and Tobago stand in solidarity with Kamla Persad-Bissessar. The Syrian Lebanese community, the good and decent people in that community, stand in solidarity with Kamala Persad-Bissessar. They have no interest in anything else but that state.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, that is the words of Philip Alexander. What we would like to hear, and Trinidad and Tobago would find a sense of comfort in it, is that actually hearing the Syrian and the Lebanese community coming out and saying that we are in support of UNC political leader Kamala Persad-Bissessar in fixing white-collar crime in Trinidad and Tobago. If the Syrian and the Lebanese community could come out and make that statement, let me tell you something. Trinidad and Tobago citizens will rest assured that as the Syrian and the Lebanese community say that they are the 1% in bracket, if they come out and make those statements, well, we, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, would understand, you know what? If this 1% group could come out and say that they are supporting the present administration in fixing white-collar crime in Trinidad and Tobago, getting rid of rogue entities, let me tell you something. That would carry Trinidad and Tobago very far. Trust what I am telling you, very far. But Trinidad and Tobago, we are going for a short commercial break. Stay locked on. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concerns. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad and Tobago, like I said on a previous show, very soon the Real Talk group of companies will be manufacturing and importing expandable container houses from China to Trinidad. So what you're seeing on screen is a house that I showed you on a previous show. But tonight, Trinidad and Tobago, I want to show you something different now. Some other houses. This is a 2-bedroom house that you are looking at, right? So I want to show you put up the other houses there. Some other houses that Real Talk Group will be manufacturing and importing into Trinidad and Tobago. And like I said, viewers, we will be doing the financing. So you don't have to run to which bank to apply for a loan and then they turn you down. No. So you will be coming to Real Talk Financing. You make your part payment. We'll give you an option on loan. And you're getting what you desire. You're getting your house to live in. So you don't have to worry about, you have to go to this bank and you have to go to that bank and you're wondering if they would give you access to your loan. Let me tell you something, Real Talk Financing, we Trinidad and Tobago will finance it for you. But like I say, it's not an overnight project. Within a couple of months' time, I am heading to Panama, 3 o'clock in the morning, Trinidad and Tobago. 3 o'clock in the morning. I will be in Panama by 7 o'clock Thursday morning. Wednesday morning, I have to meet my lawyer. I have to go to meet managers and banks, different business people down there who wants to do business with Real Talk Financing in Trinidad, opening in Panama soon. So this week is going to be a hectic week for me. But nevertheless, when I come back, most likely we'll be heading to China to meet with other companies of houses also. So viewers, great things in store for you. Remember, Real Talk Financing will be financing what we bring into Trinidad and Tobago. And it's perfect. It's perfect. I am here for the people on the ground. And everybody have seen that. Local and regional. But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago, I just want to remind you, we have the 7% on fixed deposit. Remember, you cannot go wrong. 7% is $35,000 at the end of 5 years on $100,000 invested in Real Talk Financing. Remember, viewers, we are licensed to do business in Trinidad and Tobago. We also have Real Talk Credit Union. Let me tell you something. The Real Talk group is growing bigger than I expected. But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago, when God decides to bless you, He's going to bless you big as the ocean. Big as the ocean. So, as we continue with our program tonight, viewers, businessman Dominic Hadid and his wife, Genevieve, will remain in custody after a High Court judge today dismissed their bid to be released from custody. Now, ruling that the preventative detention order the PDOs issued against them during the state of emergency were lawful. Remember the Hadid lawyers and them, they wanted to make sure that the police were taking the correct step and the legal part of it to be correct. So Justice Francis said, grant them access to the station diary. And also, the Commissioner of Police had to answer if everything was done according to the laws of Trinidad and Tobago. Now, in a 24-page judgment, Justice Frank Sipasad rejected the couple's habeas corpus application, but stressed that the emergency powers do not place the executives beyond the reach of the courts. A state of emergency cannot elapse the rules of law, the judge said, adding that the jurisdiction of the High Court endures throughout a state of emergency. The Hadids were arrested last Wednesday as police investigate intelligence alleging a conspiracy to assassinate senior members of the government, including the Prime Minister and Attorney General John Jeremy. They were initially detained under the Emergency Powers Regulation before Minister of Homeland Security Roger Alexander issued PDOs. They remained in custody. Although the couple's attorney argued that the initial arrest was unlawful and that the late PDOs were therefore invalid, Justice Sipasad rejected the submission. So Trinidad and Tobago, the Hadid will remain in custody until further notice. And that is as far as we can go with this story until new information is being laid in the public domain. Switching gears now, viewers, I'll look like this. Chairman of the Police Service Commission, Dr. Wendell Wallace, is expecting to give its report on Police Commissioner Alistair Grovero soon, he says. Wallace noted that all questions permitting the commissioner's rating of Grovero's would be answered in a media release, but did not say when the release will be issued. Grovero celebrated his first anniversary on June 18th of this year. He was appointed as the Commissioner of Police on June 17th, with his role taking effect from June 18, 2025. The appointment follows the completion of a recruitment and selection process conducted by the PSC that began in April 2024. Contacted for comments, former Commissioner Gary Gifford said the major issue on which to judge Grovero's performance is the public trust and confidence in the police service. Listen to this, viewers.
I would not want to give a grade for the commissioner. What I think is for the public to do so. I recall when I left as Commissioner of Police, public trust and confidence was almost 60%. If now it is less than 8%, how the public measures the performance and the grade of a Commissioner of Police is the important thing. Not the view of the Prime Minister, not the view of previous commissioners, not the view of politicians, the view of the public. And if public trust and confidence is now less than 8%, when it is you are the same police officers when public trust and confidence was almost 60% a few years ago, something is wrong.
So Trinidad and Tobago, that was our former Commissioner of Police, Gary Gifford, and that is what he had to say. We are going for a short commercial break, but stay locked on. When we come back, communication unit launched. Viewers, you're going to want to hear about this more. Stay locked on. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery. At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concerns. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Welcome back.
So welcome back to Real Talk, viewers. The newly launched Public Information and Communication Unit of the Trinidad and Tobago Municipal Police Service now aims to foster public confidence while keeping communities informed and engaged. The unit will be spearheaded by Public Information Officer Assistant Superintendent Katrina Kelly Garcia. This unit will now ensure communities are kept up to date and informed of crucial developments that may affect citizens, as they can expect more in-person and Trinidad and Tobago social media engagement with the municipal police officer. Let me tell you something. That is a plus for communities in Trinidad and Tobago. Minister of Rural Development and Social Local Government Minister Khadija Amin welcomed the move, saying that it is crucial for modern policing. Listen to this, Trinidad and Tobago.
Public safety is strengthened when communities are informed. Trust is strengthened when we have transparency through our communicating. Partnerships are strengthened when citizens feel engaged and included. This unit will serve as the official bridge between the municipal police and the people of Trinidad and Tobago. It has to ensure that information flows openly, responsibly, and effectively.
So viewers, also noted that the government is currently reviewing legislation to have the municipal police incorporated into Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. The move seeks to address some of the challenges it currently faces in this country. Listen to the minister.
But let me make something equally clear. The communication unit will not just be a one-way microphone. It will be a two-way conversation. Our citizens will speak, we will listen. Our communities will raise concerns, we will respond. Our officers will share ideas, and the leadership will hear them. This is how trust is built. One conversation at a time, one story at a time, one relationship at a time.
What I would like to see, viewers, to top this off is that the same municipal police officers going into the community schools, let's just say the secondary schools, the primary schools, encouraging students to stay in the class and take your education. Now that would be a big help in fixing bullying and fighting in the school system. That would play a great part, and I would love to see this initiative takes place also with this new launch of communication unit. So Trinidad and Tobago, as we move on, the head of the Municipal Police Service, Assistant Commissioner Wayne Meister, said this unit is committed to forging meaningful relationships with communities and delivering results. Listen to this.
The government of Trinidad and Tobago and the Attorney General is examining legislation based on recommendations from municipal police and TTPS to have municipal police properly incorporated as part of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. So you will hear some more about that, because a lot of the issues that arose out of municipal police came about because we didn't have proper reporting structure, proper disciplinary mechanisms, and lack of accountability.
Now viewers, the Public Information and Communication Unit of Trinidad and Tobago Municipal Police Service can be found on all social media platforms where it provides public safety, alerts, community alerts, crime prevention tips, and community outreach updates. So Trinidad and Tobago, we want to thank the Ministry of the Local Government for this initiative that is going forward with. So, changing gears a bit. After two powerful earthquakes hitting Venezuela last week, Minister of Rural Development and Local Government, Khadija Amin, has highlighted the critical role played by municipal police officers, noting that they were among the first responders deployed to assist with recovery efforts. Speaking at the launch of the Trinidad and Tobago Municipal Police Service Public Information and Communication Unit on Monday, Amin provided an update on ongoing relief efforts, which are being coordinated through partnership between the public and private sector. She said several drops-off locations have been established across Trinidad and Tobago to receive donation of dry goods and other non-perishable items for those affected by the disaster. Listen to this.
The Ministry of Works has designated Shed 1 and 2 at Plibdeco compound in Point Lisas for collection of items where the containers will be packaged. So those who are contributing in bulk on pallets will get it down to Plibdeco. In rural development and local government, we have designated all 14 municipalities as collection points. So the members of the public would be free to bring their items in.
So viewers, scientists believe the powerful earthquake that struck neighboring Venezuela last week may also be responsible for the geological event along Trinidad's southwestern coastline. Researchers are now investigating whether the tremors triggered the landslide that caused part of the seabed at Gulf Cedros to raise above the waterline. Geologist at the UE Seismic Research Center, Mr. Reddock, noted that the investigation follows the two powerful earthquakes that struck Venezuela on June 24th. While Venezuela suffered widespread devastation, Trinidad escaped without any significant impact. Experts believe throughout the unusual geological change along the Cedros coastline. So Trinidad and Tobago, take a look at this.
So we're running with a hypothesis that the landslide was triggered by the Venezuelan earthquakes. We believe because of the unique geological conditions along the south coast of Trinidad related to the southern anticline, there are many mud volcanoes in the south, and in this area in particular there are quite a few related to this Galfa area. And because of the mud volcanoes, there's fluid near the surface right in this area.
Caller, good night.
Right, Mr. Saeed, great program as usual. I really like those houses, man. So I hope when you come back, you will have an open house and display with models of those houses, man. And I know you will be sold out with those houses. I like that. But anyway, I support Gary Griffith on what he said about Navarro. Alexander rated him excellent plus, superior excellent.
Yes, yes.
And supported by Kamala, this graceful Kamala. And Kamala said he's also doing an excellent job. She supported him. This morning program, an attorney, a prominent attorney, remind the citizens of this country, citizens wake up. He remind the citizens of this country we are at a very dangerous place at this time. Kamala said she will put God in front and walk behind. She said the voice of the people is the voice of God. She violated all of that. She now like a notorious dictator in this country. You don't have a voice. You can't even go, the citizens can't even go and stand up anywhere, protest for their rights, demand their rights. This country belongs to them, this country belongs to the citizens of this country. Citizens wake up. We who hire them there and put them to work for us, and to date, Kamala violated all our democracy, and she's violating our constitutional rights. And we must stand up and take back this country from this bunch of hooligans. When you look at these people, they are doing nothing. Citizens, you know they allocated $500 million for police overtime. You all know that? This is really a dangerous place we are in, you know. Before you give the mandate to the police to clean up the service, you allocate $500 million. And that is what Gary Griffith was dealing with. He said, boy, the biggest bubble and corruption you ever come across in the police services with overtime and extra duty. Very sadly where we are, you know. And Sat Maharaj warned us about that lady you have on the screen day. When she tried to mash up Mahasabha, Sat says she's a disgraceful, shameless, the makaram, and she's demonic, and do not trust her. Sat Maharaj said that, may soul rest in peace. He said when she wanted a work, he gives her a work, and she tried to mash up the Mahasabha and Lakshmi Girls School. Mr. Saeed, you keep up this great work you're doing. You have a safe trip to Panama, and you return home safely. We're looking forward to hearing you and seeing you again on your program. So God bless you, and you keep up the great work you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. So Trinidad and Tobago, we're staying with the earthquake. Mr. Reddock is saying that a team is using drone survey and preliminary seismic testing to determine whether the evidence support its working theory. Listen to this.
Since we had such large events in Venezuela, it would shift the stress regime in and around Trinidad, because the faults that produce the earthquakes in Venezuela are connected to the faults in Trinidad. And so because of that shift in the stress regime, we would be getting a lot of small earthquakes in and around Trinidad to balance back out that increasing stress in Trinidad area.
So Trinidad and Tobago, he says, once the investigation is complete, the findings will be analyzed before it is being documented in a scientific report. Viewers, we are going for a short commercial break. Stay locked on. When we come back, the UK stands by the report of 186 gangs in Trinidad and Tobago. More when we return.
We'll be right back.
Connect with us on social media and don't miss the latest updates. Follow us on Instagram at RealTalk_Newsroom. Check us out on Facebook at Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Subscribe to us on YouTube at Real Talk Trinidad and TikTok at Real Talk with Saieed Ali.
Welcome back.
So welcome back to Real Talk
life
viewers.
throws you a curveball.
Welcome back to Real Talk viewers. Now, the British High Commission is standing by the findings contained in its country policy and informed or information note on Trinidad and Tobago, which estimated that 186 gangs were operating in this country in 2023. The High Commission defends the methodology behind the report, saying its CPINS are compiled using evidence from a broader range of sources, including reputable media organizations and the UK's Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office. Trinidad and Tobago, you all remember when this individual was in Trinidad, Christmas list? You all remember when he was in this country highlighting issues, highlighting gangs, highlighting communities, the guns? You all remember that? And he was charged by the court for sedition? Well, hear this, Hear this. The courts banned the Christmas list from coming to Trinidad and Tobago. They banned him for life. He said that in a video. And his case is coming up. His case is coming up. So, if he is banned from coming to Trinidad and Tobago, how can he be here? Now, listen to this, it goes deeper. If, according to the courts, if he is not present in Trinidad and Tobago, he will be on the FBI list. And the FBI is going to hunt him down if he do not appear in Trinidad and Tobago. Keep in mind, the courts in Trinidad and Tobago ban you for life from coming into Trinidad and Tobago, but they want you to, they expect you to appear before the court. Let me tell you something, and I will say this without apologizing. The team that is in the courthouse that came up with that stupid decision, that was a letdown to Trinidad and Tobago. That was a letdown. Imagine a judge or a magistrate or a JP, you made a ruling. Never come back to Trinidad and Tobago as long as you live. And on top of that now, they want you to be present in court when your matter called. So how is it that Christmas list going to come before the judge or the magistrate when you ban the man from coming to Trinidad and Tobago? How Trinidad? So sometimes I just sit back and when I read these things I just say, well, what kind of clown we have passing judgment? Your legal team didn't realize what nonsense all they're doing? So Roger Alexander now, Roger Alexander had to sign a document allowing now Christmas list to come to Trinidad and Tobago to face the magistrate. So sometimes I wonder, those that sitting down in the high seats, I just question their judgment sometimes. You ban a man, don't come to Trinidad and Tobago. You know you have a matter going on. You know he had to be before the judge. But if you miss your trial, you'll be on the FBI wanted list. How do you expect a man to come and face that judge when he's banned from coming in the country? Sometimes I just wonder, the people who making these decisions, if you all have a little bit of common sense, or if you all just sit down and read back the documents and the orders that you all give. That is why I took my time on a previous show, a Tuesday night show, and I congratulated Justice Frank Sipasa. An outstanding individual in Trinidad and Tobago. So let me stay now on the UK report. The response come as Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander continue to challenge the UK figures. Alexander said the government has different intelligence on the number of gangs operating in Trinidad and Tobago. So here they say Trinidad and Tobago. Here they say Alexander said the government has a different intelligence on the gangs operating in Trinidad and Tobago. So they are aware of the gangs operating. And I continue to say, if you are aware of the gangs operating in Trinidad and Tobago, what are you doing to dismantle the gangs in Trinidad and Tobago? What are you doing? Meanwhile, the British High Commissioner did not say whether the assessment which was published on June 5th affects the UK consideration of asylum seekers or claims by TNT National. Remember Trinidad and Tobago, the UK brought out a visa for Trinidad citizens entering the UK. You must have a visa because they get to realize that criminal elements or individual involved in criminal elements in Trinidad and Tobago, when they run away from Trinidad into England, they seek asylum. And when you do check on them, was like, wait now, he wanted for murder, he wanted for kidnapping, he wanted for rape, he wanted for extortion, and these kind of criminal reports. But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago, it also did not respond to question on whether it has updated its gang figures or the current level of engagement between the UK authorities and Trinidad and Tobago. So I expect Roger Alexander, being the Homeland Security Minister, I expect the Foreign and CARICOM Minister, Sean Sobers, I believe, to get all their act together and come out and tell Trinidad and Tobago how many gangs are there. Because we have the UK telling us in 2023, there was 186 gangs. And from 2023 to 2026, meaning half of 2026, what has been done to eliminate gangs in Trinidad and Tobago? That is the main questions. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Saieed.
Go right ahead.
Good night. No, I really can't understand this boy. Last night I sit down and I watching this news. Just imagine this, eh? They banned the man from coming here, and yet still he have a matter this month and he had to come. Really and truly, how they could ban him from coming here, stop him from coming here, and telling him no, he had to come to face the court to answer his matter. I don't know what's going on. I really can't understand this boy. This is so blare and is a kind of stupidness, boy. I can understand this with those people in authority who doing this. The man can't take it. When you watch a man like the man have no kind of powers again, boy. Oh God, he needs help. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my dear. So Trinidad and Tobago, we're switching gears a bit. Shamfa Kuchu. Political leader of the Tobago Arms of the PNM, Shamfa Kujo Lewis, have stated that the budget has failed to present a convincing vision for Tobago economic future. So I want to ask Shamfa, you was there for 10 years. How did you upgrade Tobago? Come out and tell, before you talk about the UNC budget, come out and tell Trinidad and Tobago how much job you have created in Tobago. Come out and tell the citizen what you did for Tobago. Come out and tell the citizen what you did for tourism in Tobago. Come out and tell the citizen how Tobago grew over the last 10 years. Don't let me talk about the budget. So let me talk about what you did for Tobago. How did you upgrade Tobago? In tourism, in fishing, in agriculture, in development, in housing, in hospitals, in police station, in communities, in the roads, in electricity. Come out and tell Trinidad and Tobago what you did. Don't come out and tell me about the UNC budget. You was there for 10 years. Let us know what you did in 10 years and then compare the budget. Don't come and try to mama guide the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. You can't even mama guide the people of Tobago. You want to go on in the parliament now and talk about the budget and convincing? Tell Trinidad and Tobago what you did. You were there for 10 years. She argued that more must be done to secure long-term growth and the stability of the island. Now she's looking for long-term growth and stability when they were there for 10 years. Try to Tobago, listen to this.
I think Tobagonians are waiting on results, and this prosperity that the Secretary speaks about cannot be seen and felt. You don't have measurable outcomes in people's lives, and I think that's what the challenge is. So it's not about, for us, it's not about the figure really. It's not even about the plan, but in the Assembly's failure to deliver on these promises and plans over the years.
So you hear that, Trinidad and Tobago? She's saying people need to be convinced in Tobago. Let me tell you something. If the PNM was convinced in the last 10 years, they would have been governing Tobago still by now. You know what it's called, Shamfa? Miss Data. Miss Data. We, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, had to pay a $60,000 internet bill because Shamfa didn't know about data. Imagine that, eh? Imagine that. But moving along. Shamfa noted that a greater emphasis must be placed on tourism development and private sector investment, insisting that these are critical pillars for sustainable development and job creation in Tobago. Again I say, UNC government has been in power for almost, let me say about 11 or 12 months, somewhere around there. But Shamfa is asking to develop tourism, the private sector investment, stability, job creation. But you cannot come out and tell Trinidad, even the Tobagonians, what you did for them. But you're coming to tell now us, the citizens of Trinidad, even Tobago, that the UNC have to create more for them. But it's only 12 or 13 months UNC in power. You were there for how long? A decade? Cujo Lewis also addressed past criticism of the PNM role in Tobago, the development, pointing to what she described as silence over the THA being short-changed in last year's media budget. Try and Tobago, listen to this, you're going to love this.
We were shortchanged last year by 100 million. If you do the mathematics, it would be by about $94 million. So now, Marlon, I don't hear the Tobago House of Assembly Chief Secretary trying to take the UNC government to the courts for a clear non-compliance with Act 40 of 1996. You understand what I'm saying? So if we are about standing up for the rights of Tobagonians and we're speaking about Act 40 and 1996, then what good for the goose had to be good for the gander.
You know what I don't understand, Trinidad and Tobago? You want to talk about UNC. You want to talk about how much money it cut by. You want to talk about more development. But you cannot come out and tell Tobagonians the development under the PNM administration. It's sad. It's really sad. She also responded to remarks by Prime Minister a few months back linking the PNM to gang activity. Shamfa.
The Prime Minister continues to make all these allegations under the cover of the Parliament. And that is irresponsible. That is irresponsible and disappointing. And it is unfortunate that the country is in this state as it relates to that specific matter. And many other matters that she's raising in Parliament that seem to have no base. If there is some sort of legal investigation or criminal investigation of any sort that needs to be done, then let the law enforcement authorities do their work.
So right now, Trinidad and Tobago, the police service is investigating where money came from to build Balize House. I don't know if Shamfa could enlighten us with that a little bit as to where money came from or how they got money to build Balize House. That is a big question. But, you know, there's something I want to say, but I can't say it as yet. I am waiting to see certain findings within TTPS, and then I will ask a question. Hopefully by Monday, Tuesday, we're going to hear something from the TTPS concerning findings of the Balize House. But until then, I will stick up in and leave it there. Let me tell you something, Trinidad and Tobago. All I know one bird singing around me. Doodly 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 doo doo doo. You know that tune? The bird is mostly the truth, you know. The bombshell is dropped, you know. But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago. In other news, the Ministry of Education is partnering with the Ministry of Health to strengthen the early diagnosis of vision and hearing problems among young children as part of its commitment to ensuring every student has an equal opportunity to succeed. Speaking at a Rapid Fire Kids Foundation eyeglasses distribution ceremony in San Fernando on Sunday, Minister of Education Dr. Michael Dowlett said the ministry has introduced a program to screen children between ages of 4 years and 6 years for vision and hearing issue. He praised the Rapid Fire Kids Foundation and other organizations for leading similar initiatives over the years and for supporting the ministry efforts to identify learning barriers and at an early stage. Listen to this.
At the Ministry of Education, we've developed a program called PEARL, which is to do the early diagnosis from 4 to 6 years old for visual and hearing. But the lead happened years ago with Rapid Fire and many other organizations. And so I want to commend the Rapid Fire Kids Foundation for being pioneering, together with all the other organizations who would come to the Ministry of Education to do their part.
So viewers, the ministry said the government is expanding programs that includes vision screening, refractive testing, and the provision of prescriptions, eyeglasses to students in selected schools.
We are pursuing programs involving the vision screening, refractory testing, and the provision of prescription spectacles for students in identified schools. But we want to recognize, as Kevin would have said, partnerships are really important. You can't just do this by yourself. And so that is why this program requires national recognition. Yes, the government has that central responsibility for education, but it can't carry that responsibility alone.
So now viewers, he stressed that partnership with the private sector are essential in meeting the needs of thousands of students across the ECCE school, the primary and secondary school system. President of the Rapid Fire Kids Foundation, Kevin Ratiram, said the organization distributed 61 pair of prescribed glasses during the event, bringing the total number provided through the program to 1,500.
And today we give 61 pairs, making 1,500. And this might just be a drop in the bucket, but you know what we do with this 1,500? With this 1,500, we give a new lease on life to 1,500 children who otherwise, quite likely, wouldn't have had that opportunity.
Trinidad and Tobago, 1,500 might sound like nothing, but to 1,500 students, it is an accomplishment. It is something new to them. It's a blessing to them. He said, each pair of glasses represent a life-changing opportunity for a child who may otherwise have struggled to see and learn in the classroom. Trinidad and Tobago, it's a life-changing experience to some of these students. Now, some of these students, parents may be not in a position to visit one of these places to get your eye tested and to pay for our glasses. And sometimes it is be hard for parents who on the poverty line. Imagine you working, you know your child need our glasses, or you know your child need a hearing aid, but you are not in a position to supply them with that need. Imagine that. You know how hard that is, Trinidad and Tobago? You know how hard it is for a parent to watch their child at the age of 6 years or 7 years having problem to see, and the parent can't do anything for it? You know how hard it is for parents to know that their child having a hearing problem and they don't have the financial backup to take care of that child? So I want to thank the ministry. I want to thank the Kids Foundation for this initiative, and I pray that funding comes to you to continue this initiative that you are doing. Trinidad and Tobago, we have about 3 or 4 minutes in our program tonight again. I just want to remind you that Real Talk Financing, we are giving you 7% on our fixed deposit, viewers. That is $35,000 at the end of 5 years if you invest $100,000. If you invest more, well, hey, your money going up. Your money going up. Now, keep in mind, Trinidad and Tobago, no other financial institution is giving you this. This is what I want you to understand. Also, I just want to give you a little reminder that very soon, in the coming months, Real Talk Group of Company will be in China manufacturing houses, Trinidad and Tobago, expandable container houses for you, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, to make it more affordable for the ones, let's say, under the upper class. Also, Real Talk Financing will be the financial institution that is going to be funding this initiative that the Real Talk Group of Company will be taking on. Trinidad and Tobago, we are growing. We are encouraging you. If you know you're looking for a house, don't stress. You know the bank going to turn you down. Don't stress. Real Talk Financing will be here. When these houses start coming into Trinidad and Tobago, we will be here to help you own a home. So don't frustrate yourself. Don't wonder, well, hey, if the bank will grant me this loan. No, we're here to help you. That is what we will do. We're here to help you. In the coming days, like I said, I will be in Panama from 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, meeting with my lawyer, meeting with business sector, meeting with people from the bank, managers, to have Real Talk Financing established in Panama. There's just about one document again I'm going by the lawyer to sign to make it official, and then Trinidad and Tobago will be fully compliant in Panama to have Real Talk Financing. We're growing. When I tell you we're growing. So when I tell you we have offers for all you and fixed deposit, trust me, we have it. Also, Real Talk Financing, you need a loan, you have a vehicle, not a problem. 2 forms of ID, utility bill, certified copy and insurance. Come on down once the vehicle is not owing, and you could get a loan. Snap of a finger, 24, 36 hours. Once we do our search and the search come back clean, your vehicle not owing for, you get a loan. Trinidad and Tobago, we're here to grow. We're here to help the people. We're not here to dig out nobody's eye. I understand how the economy is in Trinidad and Tobago. That is why we have decided to go further in financing. That is why we have decided to expand in a company that where US is their currency. So viewers, it is time now that I must say good night. I will see you at a later date concerning Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Until then, Trinidad and Tobago, be safe.